Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to do this marsh. This is a beautiful inlet in the marsh that reflects the sky. It really gives us some beautiful light and so forth. So let's begin in the sky. What I'm doing here is wetting the sky. It's just it's sort of a cloudy sky, but we'll start with some cobalt blue and just a touch of quinacridone sienna to give it a little bit gray. And then I'm going down right into the inlet. All right, I just mixed up a black with ultramarine blue and quinacridone sienna. Pushed it a little bit towards the sienna. It's a little bit warm. It's hard to see in the video, but it's a little bit warm. And what I'm doing here is just painting in the sides of that inlet, the earth, the real dark, wet earth. It's beautiful. And it gives us that initial shape for the inlet, for the water that's reflecting there. So we want to get that in, and the reason we're getting the sides in, the earth color, is because we're going to put the marsh in next, and the marsh is going to drop over that right into those blacks. All right, I'm starting with a Windsor yellow here, and I'm mixing in some raw sienna with it. This is the base color. Underneath all that green is the earth, and it's very warm and reflective. So I'm mixing in this yellow, and we're going to cover it all, obviously, with the blues to get that nice green. But I want to get this covered first. And if you want, give it a little spray, because you want to keep this nice and juicy and wet while we're building that green color. But what I'm doing right now is painting the initial shape of the marsh with the raw sienna and Windsor yellow. Just get that nice base color in. Now we're going to drop. All right. Now what I'm doing here is I'm dropping, it looks like green, but it's actually Windsor blue. This is a red tone, but it doesn't really matter. Any Windsor and phthalo, excuse me, Windsor and phthalo, are the same. So you can mix those, a little bit of Windsor blue, and just bring it right down over all that yellow. All right, mix it right in. The yellow's still wet. So as we go along, we're mixing it in, and we're letting it run down. You want a nice deep color here. You don't want any transparency up here. The transparency is of the blue, and you're getting down into the yellows, and it's mixing itself. And you can see it's starting to run down, and as it runs down, it's going to give you a nice texture. And that's what we're looking to do right now, is build that texture. So I'm getting the first layer covered, and that first layer is wet and mixing with the yellow, and that's what we want. We want to keep this wet. Keep it wet, keep your spray handy with plenty of paint and plenty of water. Get it nice and juicy. Okay, plenty of paint. We don't want to see the white of the paper there. We want to keep the white in that reflective circle there, but all right. And now what I'm doing here is sort of grooming, is directing the flow of the green, and I'm also adding more and more color to it. You can add some ultramarine blue if you want. We mix that with the yellow. But you can see I'm getting these horizontal strokes in. Because it's wet, it's going to keep moving. But what it's going to do is really develop the texture of the marshes, what's really what you want. Experiment if you want with the blues. You don't want to use any green here. The green, you know, the Windsor green and phthalo green is much too acidy green. It's too bright. We don't want to use that. This is a beautiful mixture of blues. You can use, you know, you can use some ultramarine blue. You can even try some cobalt blue if you want. But the yellows, you can see what I'm doing here. I'm actually putting a streak of the dark color in there, that blackish color. But keep all these nice strokes on a nice horizontal. And that will really sit this down, which is what you want. Okay? It'll really sit it down nicely. There's a nice dark area in there, and you can see I'm mixing it with ultramarine and quinsiena. And I'm just using a little bit of that, pushing it a little bit towards the quinsiena there, keeping it warm. Just working the edges. Keeping everything horizontal. All right, I took some cobalt blue here and just painted that. There's a little bit of quinsiena in that, and that's graded down, but it's just that streak of distant land way in the back. You know, cool and light go back. That's one of the few rules that you cannot argue with. You can see anything that the cooler, the lighter, the further back it's going to go when you're painting. We're always trying to make, you know, 3-dimension out of this flat piece of paper, and that's the way you do it, by cool and light go back, warm and dark come forward. All right, I'm putting those trees in. I'm just using the black color here, which is again ultramarine blue quinsiena, but then I'm adding some yellow to it, and that's gonna make a green. Just getting the shape down first. All right. It's still wet, so I'm able to take a damp brush and run some more horizontal streaks across the marsh, and that really, it helps sit it down. It helps develop that texture which we're looking for, and we're doing that as that green is drying up. All right. We have another little piece of trees on the right, and I'm basically just using the cobalt blue there. All right, putting a little more cloud in the sky, so a little more cobalt blue instead of a grayish tone, and you can see I put a little bit of raw sienna in it, so it's a warm gray. There you go. I took the edge of it, and that's wet, so I'm going to go back now with a damp brush and pick up some of the drips on there and just pull it out and just even it out, let it dry as a cloud. Okay, pretty much done here. There's a little bit of blue in the sky above the horizon, so I'm just going to kind of tie these together, leaving that white streak as a cloud. All right, finally, to final this, what we want to do is just put a few of those rocks in there This is just that black color again, blue with the quid sienna. And I'm just going to paint those rocks, the little pieces of rock sticking out of the water there, and then there's a very dark reflection on the right hand side. All right, so that's pretty much finished. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it, and I will see you again very soon. I hope you enjoyed that.